Right, so the iPad then. Everybody wants one of these if they're honest, or everybody likes the look of one of these. And a lot of other tablet manufacturers have already been subjected to lawsuits for copying the design, let's say, or replicating the design in some ways. And there's lots of Chinese imports which will replicate the design of this device. But this is the iPad 2. This one is from Orange, and this is what's in the box. Basically, you get a little charger which looks very nice, and I will try and show you that now if I can get the thing. There we go. That's basically the charger. USB output, and you slot in whatever plug is applicable for your country. Here in good old Blighty, maybe it's 'cause I'm a Londoner. There we go. We're plugging the old British 3-pin plug, and that will then output the USB. You stick in the USB plug the right way around, of course, and that goes into the wall. And that can also be plugged into your computer, and it outputs a standard Apple adapter. In the box there's not much else. There's a quick start guide which is here, which tells you how to get started with the iPad 2. Not that you're going to need much instruction, to be honest. And if you buy it on Orange and you have the 3G version that we have here, there's a micro SIM, which is obviously smaller than the usual SIM, hence its name, and that then pops out of there. But by this stage you would have already got rid of the box and you'll be playing with the device itself. Here is the back. This is a 64GB version, so this is the biggest capacity. As you can see by the black strip here, if I stop knocking the camera, the black strip there indicates that it's the 3G version, and there you can just about see on the corner is where the micro SIM goes in, and that little pinhole is where it is ejected from. So I'm going to show you some of the applications that I've installed on the iPad 2. As you can probably tell, the screen is what draws a lot of people in. Even in the shops, the screen is an absolute stunner of a screen. It's a 1024 by 768 pixel screen with 132 pixels per inch, not the other way around. It's a 9.7 inch screen across there, and it's got an IPS technology, and it's backlit glossy widescreen. Whatever all that means, it basically looks gorgeous. Is what the end result is. You can see your photos just by clicking on photos, and you can have these scrolling around in the background. If you've locked the screen, these photos I actually took on the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc for another review, and you can have those displayed in full screen and basically take this to your parents or grandparents and go, look, I went to an underground car park and I took lots of geeky photos for a review. Stuff like that. So it's a good way of maybe showing photos to your relatives. You can zoom in, you can do stuff like that and throw it around and reorder it maybe. You can show them pictures of you sitting in your garden with some beer, stuff like that. But that screen, obviously you got the Wi-Fi, you got the 3G, you've got the Bluetooth, you've got a 1 GHz chip powering all of this. It's a dual core Apple A5, it's a custom designed chip, low power, and I haven't had to charge this much. As you can see on the top right, I'm 37% charge, but that's not really a problem. The device itself is very light. It weighs in, this 3G version weighs in at 613 grams, which isn't a great deal at all. You've got these rotation lock buttons here, and the volume up and down. So if I put the rotation lock button on, whoops, that's actually muting it. There we go, so you can mute it and turn the volume up and down. We have the camera at the back here. We have a camera up the front there, which you can see if you press that, and you can actually see yourself. Oh, that's the camera behind, so that's a big close-up of the carpet. You can press this and switch it around. Oh, that's video mode, I do apologise, I'm talking absolute rubbish here, but there is you, basically, and you can do funky effects on here using the, where has it gone, photo booth application. And I did show you this earlier. That's the front camera. We can click on stretch, we can switch the camera around, and we can do funky things like that. You can really see the power of the processor here and how fast it is. We can switch to a different one, the kaleidoscope, do really funky stuff like that. It's very fast indeed. But to get to the actual applications I've installed for you, obviously here, if I press the double tap the button at the bottom here, it shows you the most recent applications that I've loaded up. And I've got maps here, I've got photos which I've already shown you, the photo booth, I've got the Twitter application here which will let me see the recent tweets from people. I can just click on a link and it will show it up on the page here like that. We've got, if I double click down here, I can switch to my VNC client, which I had, VNC client here, and that's actually, I'm sort of looking, VNC, you may or may not know, is a bit like RDP, and I can look at a Windows PC on my network. I can just complete the install of that, do the online registration for this software that I'm installing here at the moment. I can go back to the home screen and show you some of the other applications I've installed. All of these have come from the App Store here. It's got a little number next to it that indicates to me that some of my applications are have updates, and I can choose to update them here. So I update this piano application here. You can see it's downloading that particular app as we speak now. We've installed a few free games here. This one is in the charts at the moment, and it's called Snooker Club, and it's just loading up. I have noticed, I must say, actually on the iPad too, I have noticed quite a few things crashing. I don't know whether it's the fault of the iPad itself or just the application, but I'll just try playing this game. And we can have a game of snooker. There we go. So you can see the graphics on here, and perhaps that's like I said before, the biggest thing that draws people into the iPad and makes them shell out the money for it is the resolution, the screen, and the graphics is just stunning. You cannot really put that down. I have never played this game before, so I'll be surprised if I get a red in there, but there's a snooker game anyway. We flick back here, we can see that my Virtuoso has installed and updated itself, hopefully. There we go. So we can play stuff like that, can play pianos. Let's just bring you over here because I keep going off the side of the screen, don't I? Other apps I've installed, there's some kids games here for my son. Flipboard, which a lot of you may have heard about, is another free application. It turns websites into like newspapers virtually. So here's our site, but in its newspaper style format, and you can flick around, flick over the pages, and if we go back to the contents here, we can see some other sites that have got a similar sort of have been converted as well. We can go into featured, and we can see a lot of American style content, but let's just choose one of those, and here you can see a similar thing. You don't have to have any special website, any site can get converted into this. It uses RSS feeds and some other bits and bobs to turn your site into a rather clever looking newspaper, and it makes it a lot easier to digest. So here we can see stories about the royal wedding, which is next week, and you can click on that as an ABC News, and then it will open up the site in the Safari browser. So it's advertising that the ABC News website has got its own iPad app. A lot of sites, a lot of news organisations and TV companies have their own application. BBC iPlayer obviously has got its own application. I believe I showed you this in the previous video, and we can just view any sort of BBC content fairly easily. We just click on it and it should load up. So there we go, it's as easy as that to load up. iBooks, we've got Dropbox, we've got Angry Birds, which of course everybody will want to play. It's just loading up now. fantastic application, of course. Everybody, that will keep you hooked for ages. Tesco grocery application, so you can shop on the go. Shopping list there, you just sign in and it's very easy to shop online. We've got eBay application. These are all free. We've got the Rightmove application as well, which you can find properties on your area. VNC, which I've shown you, the WordPress application, which I use for updating our site, and various other bits. So the iPad 2, I must admit, is fantastic, and I can't put it wrong. But I do, if I'm to nitpick, I do get tired of holding it. The keyboard, although it is fantastic, I would love to have a normal keyboard. And I find that you get people that say, "Well, slot it into a keyboard, a USB keyboard, and you're away." But I would just buy a notebook, to be honest. But the device itself is very quick. It is very, very clever. It's very glossy. I think the style, the theme, the effects on here really do pull people in, and I think that is half the trick with Apple's devices. It's because they look good, they feel good, they are fast, they have no stagger or jitter, and they just perform exactly as they should. So that really is a quick look at some of the applications that I've got on this iPad 2. It's available from Orange, and you can buy it now.